Hi, this will be the last section of this course. In this section, we are going to look at some real-life project examples of Tableau. Before we get into the details of the project, let's start by looking at the solution for assignment 6. Let's start by looking at the objectives. Connect to the sample superstore data source and then create a scatter plot to display average profit and average sales per product names. Let's see how we can do that in Tableau. I've already connected to the sample superstore data source. Let me drag profit and sales in the view. Let's change the aggregation to average. Now, let me add product name on details. Also, let me fit the view to the window. Now we need to identify which trend fits the data based on the high R squared and low P value. To do that, go to the Analytics pane and click on Trend Line. Let's start with the linear model. Observe the value of R squared and P value. Let's try to do this for the other models as well. Edit the trend line to do a logarithmic model. This is slightly better than the previous model. Let's make it exponential. This is not as good as the previous two models. This is the best model that we have seen so far on the dataset. Let's make it a degree 2 model. Based on the trend lines that we saw, we can conclude that Power model fits the data well as compared to the other models. Now, we need to create a cluster on the same scatter plot. Let's duplicate the sheet, remove the trend line. Now we need to add a cluster. Go to the Analytics pane and click Cluster. Enter the number as 4. Voila, that's as easy as it gets. We have our clusters. Let's rename the sheet. Now, we need to add 3 reference lines, high profit, high sales and low profit, with these labels at these values. Let's do that. Let's duplicate the sheet. Let's rename this to reference lines. To add a reference line, right-click on the axis and select Add Reference Lines. Keep all of the other values same. Let's make this as constant and put 2000 over here. We also need to add a custom label. Let's add in the value. So we have had high sales. Now we need to add high profits and low profits. Let's do the same as we saw for sales. That's it. We have added our 3 reference lines. Based on these reference lines, we can conclude that most of the products fall within this region, while higher profits, higher sales come into this cluster and lower profits come below this line. This is an exceptional or maybe an outlier case for the dataset.